the man that's in the blood business, the crime-fighting Cutman, Mike Rodriguez. How you doing, man? Have you been on the road for a while? You've been a lot of different fights?
It's been a pretty brutal travel schedule since March. But I'm not going to pass up work, especially working with good people. It seems like you get done with the real busy travel, and then the guys at the beginning of that cycle retool and they're ready to fight again.
Take me through some of the fights, some of the highlights that you've been partaking in.
Well, I did the first PBC fight ever, actually, with John Molina against Adrian Broner with NBC.
That's right.
The following week, I had Sean Porter on the first ever PBC Spike card. I then worked, I think, that same week with Francisco Vargas on HBO Latino in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
And a couple of weeks later, I went with Freddie Roach's guy, Dennis Lebedev, WBA Cruiserweight champ, over to Russia, and he defended his title. I went over with trainer Ernie Zavala. And in between there, I was with Julian up in Quebec City, Canada. So it's been Birmingham, Alabama, Tampa, Florida, El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, Philadelphia twice, New York twice, Phoenix, Vegas a couple times, Seattle, Washington, and some local LA fights. But it's been good. It's been good. I get through it.
We first met, I want to say 6 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, back at the Fortune Gym in Hollywood, California.
Yes.
And that gym at the time, Freddie and Justin weren't working together. There was a bit of a feud. And it was a lot of guys that were kind of starting out or like yourself returning to the game. Did you imagine that you would be at this place? No,
and you and I had talked off camera. I was training a couple of guys, and I was over there with John Bray and working with him a little bit. And, I'd known Justin a long time. And I never thought in a million years that, I would be a cut man. It's just something because of my regular job being a homicide detective that I can't be in the gym with guys every day, taking them to run, taking them to spar, but I still wanted to remain close to the sport and work at a high level.
Yeah.
So I started working some cuts, and I got some tutelage from some really good people, David Martinez, Joe Chavez, Miguel Diaz, Carlos Vargas. You got Stitch Duran along the way, helped me out. I've learned a lot from Rudy Hernandez, and just some of the best people in the game, and just kind of developed my own style. And it's just something that really took off for me, working with good people. And now I don't have to wait for my phone to ring. It rings, and I get offers to go work, and if it works out, I'm there.
You were mentioning that how you hooked up. You're here with Julian J. Rock Williams and Stephen Edwards.
Yes.
Part of that camp. How did you guys come together?
It's a funny story because now that you go back to Fortune's Gym, I'm training a kid over there, and Stephen Edwards calls me sandbagging me trying to get a fight with my kid. Telling them they weren't sure about, quote unquote, he wasn't sure about his guy, and they wanted to match him with my guy, which to me was French for my guy's going to beat your guy's brains in, but we want to fight.
Exactly.
My guy was already booked, but I said, hey, you need a cut man? And he said, yeah, they don't fly us a cut man out to California from Philly, and we've been together ever since, and we're going on our 5th year together, and as a team, and obviously as Julian, we've really grown, and being the fighter and the mature kid that he is now, and he's in position, to be a superstar.
Clients.
Right, that's a great thing, because when Mike started out, man, we was fighting the chew mile. He was maybe making $60, $75 off of me, you know what I mean? So
yeah. And
then we were probably like the only people we had, versus to the journeyman local guys we probably had. But now, man, it's just a great thing seeing them. I turn on the TV sometimes like, oh shit, there goes Mike. I didn't know he was working this corner. And I'm like, Mike, like I didn't know, you know what I mean? It's just a great thing to see people notice his work. Cause I really think he's probably the top 5 best cutmen in the business.
What is it that? Sorry to interrupt. What is it that he brings that makes him top 5?
To be honest with you, he has a lot of boxing knowledge. And most cutmen don't have. Most cutmen are just cutmen. They don't say nothing in the corner. Mike is almost like a cutman / second. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
But he's got a really good boxing eye, man, and he's very respectful to the head trainer. And we just built a great chemistry and relationship over the years, man. It's like, it's like family. It's really like family. I tell people all the time, like, I got Mexicans in my family.
You mentioned you were on the first PBC card. Talk to me about that. I mean, there's a lot of controversy. Some people hate on it.
There's a lot of people that hate on it. All I can tell you is my fighters are in big, high-profile fights, whether people like the fights or not. I know my fighters are doing well financially, which means if they're doing good financially, it means I'm going to be doing, better as a cut man financially. It's like in anything else. When something new comes out, there's always going to be people that hate on it. All I can do is support my fighters and be there for them. I know I work with 10, 11 guys that are fighting on PBC cards, and so far, it's all been good. I don't have any complaints.
Do you think it's too early to tell?
It's like anything else. When something's new and you're still getting used to it and you're trying to digest it as a fight fan, what were people complaining about? There's no fights on free TV. Now there's a lot of fights on free TV, and there's people still complaining. So, You know what I do is I try to concentrate, Gabe, on the people that I work with and us being better as a team, them becoming better as fighters. And hopefully, like there's an old saying, talent always reveals itself, regardless of who we're fighting or what venue or what stage we're at. If we do everything we're supposed to do, then people are going to recognize us for good work.